Hello, this is Dragon Tank 1400, and this is All Grown Up, Season 1, Episode 13 Review. The episode title is Lucky 13. So this is the final episode of the season. And let me say, first and foremost, this is a great episode. The episode just kind of took me for a ride. I just kind of laid back and just watched the episode, and without really analyzing it that much, it was just a great episode. It focuses on Angelica, and basically her 13th birthday party is coming up. And the mean girl, Savannah, who is like the popular mean girl type, actually schedules a party on the date of Angelica's birthday party. So there's a lot of conflict that goes on between Savannah and Angelica, and we actually get to see Angelica's best friends for sure, like without a doubt. It's Susie and Harold, because those are the two that stick by her. Those are the two that help her out in her need. Now we also get to see Tommy and his friends, Tommy, Chucky, Phil, Lil, and actually Kimmy's in this episode, which is rare, but I'm glad she's in this episode. We get to see them actually kind of struggle with the decision of whether or not to go, whether or not to help out. In the end, they find out that Savannah actually purposely planned her party to be on the same date as Angelica's birthday party, just to be mean, basically, just to kind of teach her a lesson, quote unquote. So once they find out that, they end up convincing Savannah, tricking Savannah to change her birthday party. So I thought that was really well done, and we actually get to see that Phil might have some artistic ability. I'll mention that later on in the seasons, but this is like the first time we actually get to see Phil like actually have a skill, actually, profitable, maybe not a profitable skill, but a skill, like something that he's actually good at, and that's actually art. We'll get to see kind of more hints of that later, and there's no episode that really focuses on it. Maybe one episode in season 5, but it doesn't really focus on art per se. It focuses on food. Like I said, we'll get more on that later, but it was good to see that like Phil actually has something that he's good at besides being dirty or something like that. So back to Angelica, who's the star of this episode. We get to see Angelica go up and down. First you get to see her high, you get to see her up when she schedules her party, and then we get to see her down when Savannah purposely schedules her party on the same date of Angelica's party. So then we get to see her up again, where she thinks Savannah is going to change the date of her party. And then we get to see her down again when she finds out that Savannah actually is not going to change the date of her party. And we never actually get to see if Angelica actually sees that Savannah purposely made the date of her party on Angelica's birthday party. But we do get to see that Tommy and his friends actually see that, which drive them to help Angelica out. So that leads me to the moral of the episode. Basically, if you're inside the family, it's kind of okay to make fun of each other and stuff like that, because in the end you will stick up for them when someone's outside. And I like how Tommy actually used the example of when Lil makes fun of Phil, that it's okay when she does it, but she will defend him no matter what when someone outside makes fun of Phil. We get to see this actually in the first episode, which is the worst episode of this season by far. However, I do like them mentioning that. So it was really good to bring the first episode tied in with the last episode. So it's like the same moral that when it comes down to family or friends, you always stick up with them, and you always help them for someone that's like outside the family. Always. And from a Christian point of view, that's really good morals. You have to stick by like your family and friends. Of course, unless they do something like really wrong, but at the same time, you do help them out. That's the point of having a best friend. That's the point of having like a family. You help each other out when you're in need. So from a Christian point of view, that's really important. God says to love your neighbors as you love yourself. And neighbors does not just mean like your family or friends or closest to you. That actually means everyone. Jesus also says, love your enemies, but at the same time, you do have to stick with your friends and family. And I don't condone like lying or anything like that what Tommy and his friends did with Savannah. But the gesture was good. So on to character development. Angelica had a great character development this episode. We see her low and high. She's a teenager now, so she's going to have low and highs like that, where she's up really high and then she's really low, like eating ice cream or whatever. I really like them showing that, but they also showed that Angelica reserved the best seats in her party for the cool kids, which are the ones who helped her out. So in a sense, and we get to develop Angelica's character, where she's now loyal to, her friends and family, the ones that are willing to help her out, her neighbors, the ones that she knew her entire life. So I really like to see that in development in Angelica. And we get to see it over time as well throughout the seasons. Angelica's always going to be mean. However, we also get to see Angelica can be actually nice sometimes and really stick up for, Tommy and his friends and Susie and Harold even. So I really do like seeing that. Now we also get to see Tommy's character development as he struggles with the decision of whether or not to help Angelica or not. He's actually wanting to convince his friends to do it. Tommy has always been the leader of the group, all the way back to Rugrats. And he's always been the leader. Always. I think they mentioned it in like in a future episode or something like that. I can't really remember, but I do like how he convinces his friends to help Angelica, even though all of them were against it, including Chucky, except for Dill. But Dill had his own reasons, and I'll mention that in just a second here. So I really liked Tommy's character development. Chucky, Kimmy, and Lil kind of had very little character development. They did have some lines, which was okay. Chucky might have had a little bit of character development, as he says that he doesn't want to go to the party because it's he wouldn't be the type that would want to go to the party. He would just feel awkward. So I really like them incorporating that into it. Now we also get to see Phil's character as he has his one-liners and stuff like that. As what was there was like a cow and a fake cow head that Angelica ruined, and that he was kind of like, oh, that's a mime. Wow. I really like Phil's character and the fact that he just kept saying no, 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 like all the way from school to the Java Lava. It was just like, and that transition was actually done extremely well. Like I said, not all, but a lot of transitions in this episode and this whole season so far have been done really well, and that's just an example of one of them. So now Dill's character, we get to see him wanting to interact with the porpoises that he believes have interacted with aliens. Now, last episode we established that my thoughts on aliens, I don't think they exist. But we also established that in the Rugrats Us All Grown Up universe, aliens in fact do exist. We have pretty much 100%, we've never seen them, but we have pretty much 100% confirmed that aliens do exist. And in this episode we get to see that the porpoises do interact with the aliens. So that was really good to see as well, kind of tying in that last episode with this episode, and even the episode before that, it's Stupid Cupid. Like those three episodes kind of with Dill's character, they line up, and stuff is taken from those past episodes. So I really like them incorporating that. For a show like All Grown Up, most shows like it, like 16 or some other shows like it, don't really incorporate little things from other episodes in the past episodes in the current one. I really like how the writers do incorporate the things from the last episodes. They even incorporate some of the things from Rugrats to it. So I really think they do a great job there. I mean, they could do it a little bit more and it wouldn't be stale, but at the same time it's done really well. Another thing that's done really well is the background ambience of the episode, particularly when they're in the lunchroom and Angelica's crying. We actually get to hear her in the background flushing the toilet, and crying, just like Kimmy describes what's happening. Is that Angelica's bawling her eyes out really loudly and trying to flush to drown her out, but she says that nothing can drown it out, and we get to hear that in the background as the main core talk. It's not really distracting. It's like, wow, it's actually there. So I really like the background ambience of this series, the transitions of this series, and them bringing back. And I'll talk more of this, and I'm going to do a season 1 review. That's going to be my next one. It's going to happen next week. I'm going to review everything, so it's going to take me a while. But I'll talk more about this next week, how the things I really liked about the whole season as a whole. Anyway, so on to the rating of the episode. I really haven't talked anything negative about it. I mean, some of the character models were a little off. Some of the animations to be expected. It's not going to be great and all grown up. However, beyond that, there's nothing wrong with this episode. This episode was great. So I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Great episode. Not my favorite, but it still deserves a 10 out of 10. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. See you guys in the next one. Bye.